You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
The globalists, the social engineers, have created many counterfeits of true patriots in the last century to try to control and manipulate populations. But you know that you are for real. You know that you have the fires of liberty burning in your heart. And you have had such a effect on the system that they're having to come out and admit more and more of the truth to even stay relevant. We are funded by our sponsors and by you, the listeners. And I am so proud of the fact that I never sold out, that I said no to being given Glenn Beck's job 10 years ago before he was even on the radar. Because my integrity is what matters at the end of the day, and I know this New World Order is pure evil. I know they're poisoning the water supply. I knew those flu shots were going to kill people, and now they admit they are and are pulling them off the shelves worldwide. I knew the truth, and that's what matters in history. And that's why your support of this broadcast and spreading the word and Googling the keywords we put out so that hundreds of newspapers report on what we're putting out is so important. The search term today, of course, deals with the movie Machete. The search term is Machete Race War. Enter those three words, Machete Race War, and it will be the top search term. I have no doubt will fail because of your great activism on this holiday weekend, and I'm in here live. Now, I'm going to race through as many calls as possible. Steve, Cody, Ben, Josh, Chuck, Roger, Swan, 1 minute apiece. Steve in Canada, you're on the air worldwide.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good, sir.
Good. Big fan of yours. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the police state up here in Canada. I live in a decent neighborhood in downtown Edmonton, and one of my neighbors was out back cleaning out his car, and the cops rolled up and asked him for license and registration while he was cleaning out his car.
It's the same thing in England, same thing here, but the illegal aliens are above the law. It's about training you to line up and produce your papers.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting here and I looked out back.
Hey, there are articles every few weeks I see out of Canada where you only hear about it when it's a TV host or a newspaper writer because they're mad and write about it, where they get police at their door over a shotgun their daddy gave them 50 years ago. And they say, that's not registered, turn it in.
They're talking about scrapping the long gun registry up here because they've already wasted $1 billion on it. And they said it was only supposed to be a $3 or $4 million thing.
Yeah, my parents were in Canada 2 weeks ago. My dad brought me a newspaper back. I never brought it to the studio to cover it. And it talked about in a major city how they threw out the police chief and the whole government. Canadians, the sleeping giant, is rising over that gun issue.
Oh, yeah, like especially out here, out west in Alberta. Like, I grew up in a farming community, and everybody had guns. You know, I mean, you go hunting, you go eat deer, you go eat moose, you shoot coyotes, keep them away.
Hey, in 2000, the real Crocodile Dundee, the guy that Hogan made that movie about, wouldn't turn his guns in. They came to his house. They had a shootout. He killed and wounded a couple cops. They killed him to come take his hunting rifle. They killed the real Crocodile Dundee. Now the guy that made the movie about it isn't allowed to leave Australia because he, quote, didn't pay all of his taxes. I appreciate your call. It's just amazing. Cody in Arizona, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, I've got a really good fluoride story for you. A couple of years back, I'm taking a environmental science class at a junior college, and the discussion came up with water quality. I told the class that they've been putting fluoride in our water. So the teacher, turned it into a heated debate. The teacher storms out, grabs the water quality report from the town I live in, which I had mentioned that I had a copy, goes through it, looks in, and sure enough, she finds it. So fast forward 2 years, I'm training this new girl at school, at work, and she's talking about some teacher that is very adamant about fluoride in the water and making all of her kids do, these assignments about fluoride in the water.
So you're saying you woke that person? You're saying you woke that person up?
I woke that person up and every student that she's had ever since then.
And it shows the power. Let me stop you. That's why my brain is spinning. I finally read his new book. He says, drink tap water. It's good for you. Beck tells his listeners, drink it. Trust the government. I mean,
exactly, Alex. This is just amazing, and it just shows that we can wake people up one by one. It's very hard, but we can do it.
Cody, again, Hollywood puts this image of a hero like Schwarzenegger, the archetype of Hercules, defeating the dragon or defeating the Hydra. No, it's little things that will defeat them. It's little things that build up and are an unstoppable force. God bless you, Cody. Beautiful story. Ben in Indiana, you're on the air.
A TV member, huge supporter of InfoWars. I just wanted to mention that the National Security Strategy, May 2010, has tons of talk of global governance and international order. And I just wanted to see maybe analysis by you or one of your writers.
Well, I haven't looked at... Did you say that was the 2010 National Security Strategy by the National Security Council run by General Jones?
Yes, well, it's on whitehouse.gov. That's the one, and just came out.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the 2010 strategy, but General Jones at CFR.org admitted he takes all his orders from the CFR, which is illegal, a private offshore think tank. And, no, listen, the Pentagon 6 years ago put out a report admitting they work for world government, and they had Thomas Barnett before that, Naval War College professors say the same thing. But, no, I haven't seen this new one. So you're saying they just come right out with global government?
International order all over the place, subsections, big sections devoted to it. They use the IMF and the United Nations as examples of the order that they're setting up. It's pretty clear.
And they say global governance.
Sure, they use that in there somewhere, but international order is all over the place.
Well, it's standard operating procedure. That's why they can't deny it. But they'll have their controlled operatives come out and lead the opposition to it, so at key points they can go along with it. Good points. We'll look into it immediately. Who's up next, guys? Josh in Florida. You're on the air worldwide.
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
Welcome, sir. Good.
Excellent. 2 points I wanted to touch on. One, I didn't hear you talk about it yet, but tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on National Geographic, Giuliani is going to be talking, Giuliani's 9/11. He's going to say in his own words, I guess, his recounts of the events of that day. So it'd be interesting just to watch and see.
Really, I wonder if he'll talk about how they ran a drill to attack the World Trade Centers that morning called Tripod 2. He'd admitted it on 9/11 on ABC and CBS. Then he denied it till the videos were produced. Or the new NIST footage the feds were sued to release, where it confirms Barry Jennings and others in the building with bombs going off in Building 7. Wonder if we'll talk about that.
Exactly. Or we'll see if he brings up his emergency command center that he had in Building 7.
I wonder if he will. We'll look into it. Thank you. Let's talk to Sean in Arizona. Sean, you're on the air. Welcome.
Patriot, Alex, I've talked to you a couple times in the past, and giving up your Labor Day weekend, you know, as all of us listening, that we may not have Labor Day weekends to be free and party and get drunk and all these crazy things that people do anymore. You know, the most important thing is to talk about freedom, because freedom is in its waning hours in America. A couple salient points. You know, I called twice before because I was there around Reagan at the convention, and you started mentioning this today. The most important thing is we know now that Republicans really are poised to make a big score here, maybe gain back both houses here in the fall, but it's not a victory for freedom. And I saw that when I worked for Reagan. I was very young. He was a great guy. I liked him personally. But the week of the platform hearings in Detroit, which is the week before the televised convention,
they came in and said, you will put George W. Bush in, George Herbert Walker Bush, who Reagan had exposed as a trilateral commission globalist.
And Rockefeller. I was 19 years old at the time, and I was picking up these people. They were surrounding him then. And, you know, they've got their stooges. We know Glenn Beck is one of them. The big disappointment, though, is, as a Westerner, this Sarah Palin. You know, I guess they've thrown a lot of money at her, but what a disappointment. Her
she's
husband,
the reason you got open border John McCain.
Absolutely, and you know, McCain. I hate to say, McCain's wife's father was tied to some very tough things. Yeah, McCain's completely false. But the thing about Palin is, you know, her husband, as Pat Buchanan noted quickly on that first day that she was announced to the world in August, a couple Augusts ago, two years ago now. You know, her husband was part of the Sagebrush Rebellion in Alaska, the separation movement, and she apparently has just completely swung over. And
Brother, I'm out of time. Retransmission starts now at Infowars.com. If you missed any of the first hour, I covered key intel. Great job, crew. Have a great weekend. Be safe.